Hey everyone, welcome to another episode, and today we are talking about Thursday and Friday of March break. And it was a good 2 days. I didn't think I was going to do anything on Friday, but we did do something. So Thursday we went to Westfield Heritage Village. Museum, whatever you want to call it. It's more like a village, I would say. A lot of stuff is buildings from around the 1860 era. They've received from donations and such to build basically like a somewhat of a pioneer village. So anyways, they had their maple syrup festival there, and it was quite interesting. So we did some walking around. The buildings were open, so we went inside the buildings, looked around. They had volunteers that were dressed up in its time era, and then there was also 3 different time eras for the maple syrup, and they even told us the supposed legend of how maple syrup was found.
Branch, the boy went up and had a closer look, and lo and behold, there was water coming out of the tree, which was a miracle in itself, and he tasted it, and it was deliciously sweet. What was coming out of the tree? It was sap, absolutely correct. He thought, this is great, I've got to take some of this home. So he took and he got himself a clay pot, and he gathered up some maple sap to take home, and he thought, wait a minute, I gotta give it a name. Ooh, what can I call it? It's water and it is sweet. It's water and it is sweet. What do you think he called it?
Maple syrup.
No, it's water and it was sweet.
Sweetwater.
He called it Sweetwater. He called it Sweetwater. So he took it home, and then he had another great idea. He thought, I'm gonna put this by the fire, I'm gonna heat it up, and I'm going to have a nice warm drink before I go to bed. Because everybody likes a nice warm drink before they go to bed, you know, like a hot chocolate with big floaty marshmallows, yum. So he put it by the fire, and he promptly forgot all about it and went off and did something else. So he came back in the morning, and he thought, that's okay, I'll have my hot drink for breakfast. And he looked inside, and lo and behold, something horrible had happened in the night. Somebody had come along and taken all of his sweet water. They drank the bucket dry. Oh, how would that make you feel?
Sad.
Sad, absolutely. Thumbs down on that one. Correct, he was very sad. And then he got angry, because not only did they drink all of his sweet water, they left him nothing but a rock. Oh, he was sore angry. He took that rock and he does what boys do when they're angry and they have a rock in their hand. He licked it. And it was deliciously sweet. What had happened in the night? All the water had evaporated off, leaving nothing but a big chunk of maple sugar. Now that is just one of the legends about how the indigenous people discovered maple syrup. They're not making a lot of maple syrup. It is just a seasonal thing for them. And then we come along as Europeans and we introduce to them something new. It is metal pots. And with the advent of the metal pots, now we can actually start producing maple syrup in a bigger way. Because now we can get it into that hard boil that we need to make it into what we want to. So we're collecting up in our wooden buckets. We are using wooden spiles to collect with. And putting it into our first pail, we're going to bring it into a hard boil, and I'm going to boil that until it turns to a nice amber color. And then I'm going to transfer those. I'm going to be watching the back of my spoon to see how it's coating the back of my spoon. I'm going to be giving it a wee bit of taste every once in a while. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer it over here to our smaller bucket, where I'm going to continue to boil it. Now to make maple syrup, I need it to be at 66% sugar. On that, but I want to make actually maple sugar. Why do I want to make maple sugar? Well, what do you think happens to maple syrup if you leave it on the counter all summer long? What happens to maple syrup if you leave it on the counter? Yes. You wish on that. No, it goes moldy, green and kind of crawly. It's been known to eat small children on that. So we want to make it actually into maple sugar. So we're going to actually boil this down now till it's about 70%. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to watch it really closely because the difference between this and burnt yuck is very short. So I'm going to boil it down, then I'm going to pour it out onto a trencher, which is a very shallow dish, and I'm going to whip air into it and make it into sugar. So once I make it into sugar, it will last indefinitely. And, oh, just a second there, I've got one more thought to finish. And then it becomes a really good trade good, yes.
It looks like that pan is getting burnt.
It looks like that pan is getting burnt, but it's really not getting burnt. It's just starting to steam a little bit. Our fire will never be hot enough to melt that brass. So maple sugar, as we know, is absolutely delicious. And the question is, why don't we do maple syrup in the later in the spring or in the summer when it's nice and warm? The answer is that the sap gets higher and higher up the trees, and it actually becomes quite cloudy and bitter, and we can't use it anymore. And nature gives us a little sign when it's time to actually pull the tap from the tree. It is a small creature that comes out of the ground in the spring and goes peep, peep, peep. What creature comes out of the ground in the spring and goes peep, peep, peep?
Groundhog.
Not a groundhog, yes.
I forgot.
Small creature that comes out of the ground in the spring and goes peep, peep, peep.
What is it?
Not a squirrel, not a chipmunk. Well, we will give you half points on that one. It's not a tree frog. It is a small frog known as a spring peeper. And it makes a beautiful peeping sound. And come back in April and you can hear the spring peepers. So the last thing I'll ask you before I send you on your merry way is, what is the best thing to put maple syrup on?
Pancakes.
Better than pancakes.
Waffles.
Oh, sausages are good. Better than waffles. Better than snow.
You guys know the answer. You
Your
found out.
tongue.
On your tongue. Absolutely correct.
So there's stuff in a tree. Yeah. And here it is frozen.
And then Friday, we did a few things. In the afternoon, we went to the Cambridge Butterfly Conservatory.
Hi.
Okay, you guys going to try it?
I'll try. It's a bug.
These are chocolate crisp cookies with crickets flowers.
It's a bunch of little pretty good, right? And then this one, so this is our chocolate covered crickets. We actually
Chocolate bug feast, white chocolate, dark with roasted ants.
they're really not bad. I've eaten a few today already.
You want to try this one? It's got ants in it. Try it, Chase. Chase, it tastes like chocolate.
But you said it tastes like ants.
No, so it has ants in it, but it tastes like chocolate. You know a Kinder Surprise chocolate?
Wait, real ants?
Cooked ants. Ew. Have you ever had a Kinder Egg before? With the little toy inside? This chocolate tastes exactly like that.
You picked it up, so try it.
But with real chocolate?
It's good.
I almost want another.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Then we have our chocolate covered crickets. So we actually have a little piece of a cricket inside of there. You can do it, come on. It's just a little crunchy.
Like that?
Yeah, try
See,
it.
not so bad.
Over here, guys. Grandma,
You won't even taste it.
It's just a little crunchy, but it's all chocolate.
You won't taste it. All you'll taste is chocolate.
Sure.
Yep, I ate like 5 today already.
Well, there's real bugs in there.
All 3 of them had real bugs in them.
Yep.
And then in the evening, I took the kids to CTRL V, which is a virtual reality place. So overall, the kids had a great week. I don't think there was any time that we didn't really do a whole lot, except for on today, Saturday. That after breakfast, I took them home to their mom, and so we had a really good week from Friday to Saturday morning, Friday night to Saturday morning, for the whole week, and I had a great time. I am exhausted though, because I don't have the kids 24 hours every day for so long that they actually exhaust me, and I was so exhausted that I almost didn't do anything Friday. But then I decided, no, I kind of wanted to get out of the house as well, so I did. I think the next few days it's not going to be as busy for me, but who knows, maybe I'll get the itch to get out of the house and want to do stuff, and we'll see what happens. I'm not sure, but I had a good time. The children had a good time, and yeah, so hope you followed along. If not, you can see the previous videos of what we did during March break. If you enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and of course hit the notification bell, because I upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or at least I try to. So yeah, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell. And besides that, take care and have a good one. See you next time.